Hi everyone, welcome to the Tropic Marin channel. My name is Sam Nietzer. I'm a researcher at the university, but today we're not in our research facility, but we're visiting our neighbors, the public aquarium of Wilhelmshaven, located directly at the sea. And for the curator Kai, I have a little gift from Tropic Marin. It's lanthanium chloride. Some of you might wonder what kind of product is that, but it's the ingredient of the Elimi-Phos-Rapid to remove phosphate from the water in a quick and easy way, basically. And the reason they need so much of that stuff is the big shark tank. So it's a beautiful tank full of sharks and other fish, like a high fish stock. So you have a lot of food consumption, a lot of nutrients come into the water. So with the lanthanium is a good way to remove the excess phosphate from the water column. But it's not only about this tank, other tanks as well, but we'll talk about that in a second. Hello, hello. Hey Kai.
Hi Sam.
Good to see you. How are you?
Hi.
I have a little present for you.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Well, Kai, now we're standing in front of the big tank.
Yes.
You know, I'm always really happy to be here because it's such a nice atmosphere. Lighting is nice, fish are nice, and yeah, it's just beautiful.
It's quite a long time since this tank was established, 24 years now, and some of the sharks are in fact inside the tank just from the beginning. So there's quite a lot of time for building up depots for phosphates. Yeah. Water quality is always challenging with such big fishes.
You can do big water changes, right? Because you can use North Sea water, but still you have the build up over time.
We're changing around 20 cubic meters of water every week.
Okay.
Depends on how much water we can get, which is a bit depends on the tide and the temperature of the water that's coming in. But 20 cubic meters, that's what we are.
What's the
changing
total volume again?
It's 170 cubic meters. Okay. Not a really big water change, but more than most people could do with such a tank.
Yeah, more than 10% per week. So I think that's even also for a coral tank. That's what I.
Yeah, but with all the nutrients coming in from the food, it's not enough.
Yeah, especially over the long time, and with the sand and the rocks, there is quite some opportunities for depots to develop.
And for 3 years now, we are trying to get rid of all the depots. We had a bit of a success already, but still it's challenging because at first it was reducing the nutrients quite a lot, but later on there was one area where it's kind of stuck. But I think that's a point where the depots are getting into a solution again, and
and you don't want to do
work in progress.
Too radical changes, right? You don't want to rip out all the sand or rocks and so on. So I guess the strategy you run with the lanthanium chloride is quite minimal invasive, if you want. And you can just precipitate it out of the water and remove it. So I think you don't have to establish any big microbial reactor or something like that. Right? Yes. So you can just keep everything running as is, and then in normal progress just slowly reduce the phosphate concentrations.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. We can't make big changes in a short time, but it's reducing constantly, and that's all we need.
Fish are looking good, healthy, and we also have the anemones are going strong.
Yes, the anemones are growing really big because of the distance. They are not looking really huge, but from the top view you can imagine that it's really big anemones. Because of the clownfish that are inside the tank, they are all also well protected against all the others that would normally kill the anemones.
Some mean little buggers, sharp teeth.
Yes. So it's around 2 kilograms of food every day for the sharks and the teleosts. It's quite a bit.
Oh, there's the lineatus again, being mean to the big one.
Yes.
All right, now we're magically one level up from the shark tank to the coral tanks.
Yes.
And these coral tanks have also quite some history, I think. They're also running for a long time. And
yes, same like a shark tank. This system was historically one. So for around 20 years, all the tanks were the same water volume. So all the nutrients that were coming into the shark tank were also inside the coral tanks. This also had some beneficial effects. For example, there was never any calcium dosing or something, because with 170 cubic meters water behind the corals, you don't need to dose as much. But if you wanted to dose something, you would have to dose quite a lot. And because of this problem, we decided to make two systems out of one. And now the shark tank and the coral tanks are two different systems. And now we can easily dose what we need when it comes to trace elements, or we can reduce the nutrients much easier.
Yeah, you have much more control over the systems. Yes. That's definitely a benefit. Also, the corals look good. I mean, yeah, they're doing well.
Yeah, it's getting better over the time. For every old tank, if you have to reduce nutrients, it takes quite a lot of time. So I often don't see the progress.
Yeah,
because it's just
gradually.
It's gradually. Yes. If I'm looking at photos I've taken 2 years ago or something, I always think, oh, great, nice what we've done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you're going to have more stony hard corals here in the future. So now the phosphate levels are in the normal range.
Yes.
Okay, Kai, now we're in the place where the phosphate elimination happens, and the powder has its destination. So how does it work?
We're just solving the lanthanum chloride inside of osmosis water. We're just dripping the solution inside our reaction chamber. We're pumping water from the tank into this let's say bucket, and giving it a bit of time to react with the lanthanum chloride. Most of the lanthanum phosphate just drops to the ground in this tank, but what's still solved in this solution, we just added a fleece filter, so we have an additional export of the lanthanum phosphate. And just to be really sure, still another bucket, just with filter media. We are washing them every 2 or 3 days, and then we're really sure we have all the phosphate exported out of the system and have no murky water.
So the precipitation basically creates a white powder, which is, I mean, perfectly fine to be in the tank, but it's like a cosmetic issue if you have a show tank and there's like cloudiness from the precipitate, so that's why and maybe not everything reacts initially, but takes a while, and then you have like
in fact, that's just cosmetic.
3 stages to remove all the precipitates. Cool. Very good, very simple. No control technology, no sensors, not a lot of electronics.
For everybody.
Well, that was it for this video from the Public Aquarium Wilhelmshaven. I'm always really happy to be here. Kai, thanks so much for showing us around.
You're welcome.
And I'll be back when the bucket is empty. No, I'll be back before then.
Great.
Okay, take care, man. And see you soon. Bye-bye. See you soon too.